No, great meeting you. Thank you very much for making time to step here in our pop-up studio here at Nordic
Sure.
Fintech Week. So just before we start, tell us briefly who you are and what you do.
Great. So I'm Noah Sharp. I'm the CEO of a company called Vodeno, and we're one of the preeminent providers of banking as a service solutions across all of Europe, including the Nordics, where we have a local branch here in Sweden. So we provide banking solutions, regulated financial solutions to non-regulated firms predominantly, and also embedded banking, embedded finance. And we do that through an innovative tech platform, coupled together with a licensed and regulated bank out of Belgium called Ion Bank, where we have branches, as I mentioned, here in Sweden, but also Germany, Belgium, and Poland. So we have clients in each of these markets. We offer domestic services across the board to various companies in e-commerce, retail, even education. We're focused on a lot of different mainstream sectors.
Right. Okay. And you just came out of your panel here at Nordic Fintech Week. What, if anything, would you like the audience to keep in mind from what was discussed in the panel and what you contributed to?
Sure. So first of all, you look at the halls around here, and it is heaving with people. We're completely packed. So when you look at the vibrancy of the fintech market and the demand for those solutions, you can feel the energy, in this space that it's very much alive and well, and competition is alive and well, and that's what we need. Obviously, we're facing increased regulation, PSD3, for instance, but the opportunities now and the demand are quite substantial, and it's really important that we maintain that healthy level of competition. So these are the things that we discussed, as well as the differentiation of the types of solutions that you can offer. You have companies that are just SaaS, software as a service. Yeah. You have companies that are just fintech banking, and then you have companies like us that kind of sit in the middle and do a bit of both. We do software. We do the payments infrastructure, the regulatory umbrella and framework, everything down to basic accounts, credit and lending, cards. We kind of spread across the whole gamut.
Right. Okay. Now you just mentioned that you have a partnership with Ion Bank. Tell us a little bit about the partnership between Vodeno and Ion Bank. What's the basis of it, and what is it that you're achieving together?
Sure. So we're actually part of the same group. So the Vodeno group is we have two sister companies. So you have Vodeno, which is the tech platform, and they have Ion Bank, which is the regulated credit institution, the regulated bank. And Ion is really provides the distribution and management of the regulated services, so accounts, payments, credit and lending, these sorts of things. Right. And then Vodeno is the tech stack, the APIs, the ledgers, the platform that really enables this to come to life. Right. So when you have a company that's not a bank, who wants to offer stored value wallets, for instance, or wants to offer payment services. It needs a combination of the two of these things, the regulated services and the software, to be able to do these things efficiently and effectively. And you really need cutting-edge, innovative software solutions to achieve this. Right. These sorts of end results.
Okay, and so tell me a little bit more about your technology. So you say innovative software solutions. What makes your technology unique?
So our platform, it's the Vodeno platform, is purely cloud-based. It's not sitting on physical servers in a country somewhere. And it also rides across a private blockchain. So what this does is, one, it's very fast. It has the computation power of large cloud service providers like Google, and the capacity of large service providers like Google. And it can operate anywhere across Europe. So you have seamless, borderless capabilities. And the blockchain nature of it allows for security. So for instance, the keys, the security keys are at a customer level, so they're customer specific. Okay. And because they sit on the blockchain, it's you have non-repudiation. Right. So when you offer these services, they're very secure. You cannot tamper with them. The data integrity is very high. And when you need to do regulatory reporting or other elements of complying with rules and regulations in different markets, it's very easy to pull that data and prove the integrity of that data externally to auditors, to regulators. So it's a combination of these things that make the software quite advanced. Right. And then you also need the bank to do basic things like hold the balances, make the payments, provide the balance sheet for lending. So it's really powerful, the combination. You don't have to go to all these different providers to cobble together a solution. We can really do the end-to-end, even the client onboarding, the KYC, the transaction monitoring. We do the whole stack.
So it's a great blend of capabilities. Now, we keep hearing that banking as a service and embedded banking, it's words that we keep hearing more and more often.
Yeah.
So what is it that companies in the Nordics need to think about when if they're considering to make a move towards a banking as a service solutions?
Sure. So the main thing is, who are you partnering with? There have been issues in the market that are not necessarily geared towards banking as a service in general. You know, there's no issue with the demand in embedded banking, embedded finance banking as a service.
Yeah.
But there have been issues with specific players in the market that have either had fundraising issues or compliance issues, these sorts of things. So choosing a partner is key, because you want the durability of that partner, you know, to outlast the build of the solution.
Right.
You know, these things take effort. They take a lot of focus. And so when you launch these solutions, you don't want to launch and then a few months later come to find out that the company has run out of runway.
Right.
So the quality of, you have to look at who's invested in this company. Are they quality investors, or are they just you know, small VCs or angel investing? You know, how much runway do they have? How much permanence do they have? How much are they relying on that next fundraise to stay alive? You know, that's number one. Number two, when you get into the regulated space, it's the quality of the institution and the relationship they have with their regulators.
Okay.
You know, so are they a strong banking institution that has not been fined, has not been cited for lapses in money laundering or compliance issues? You need to make sure that who you're dealing with operates with integrity, and also operates in a you know, in a proper regulatory jurisdiction.
Right.
So, you know, the Nordics, very strong regulators. You know, Belgium, where Ion Bank, you know, our bank is based, very strong regulator. So you need to make sure that the regulatory jurisdiction, you know, matches the needs of your clients and has strong oversight over the bank, and that the bank is sound. You know, the bank hasn't cut corners or tripped up on these things or been fined, you know, in a meaningful way. You know, these are probably the two most important components. And of course, then it's the solutions themselves.
Right.
You know, can you buy everything from the one provider that you need? Are they flexible? Is the technology advanced? You know, do they know what they're doing? Is it seamless? Is it efficient?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, then it's obviously commercials.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm curious to understand, what's your take on the future of banking as a service? Are there any trends that are starting to come up when it comes to embedded banking, to these things that people should be in the lookout for?
Sure. So we deal a lot with companies that are, you know, they're non-regulated firms. So large retailers, clients in the education space, marketplaces, and you know, the trend across all of these companies is very much, you know, number one, they want to improve conversion. So they want payments to be successful for their clients, whether they're buying goods and services or, you know, someone's powering a neobank. You know what? You want payments to be seamless. And you want the payments to work and not get blocked or held up or have issues or operational burden. So number one, it has to be efficient, it has to work. You also want a closer, more stickier relationship with your customer. There's been a trend towards, you know, companies wanting to sign up your clients to their own accounts, their own cards, mining their data, selling and using their data. And that sort of starts to take away the client relationship from the retailer, from the marketplace, or whoever it is. And companies are, you know, they don't want that anymore. You know, they don't want to cede control over their customers and give it to somebody else. And they want to differentiate between themselves and their own competitors. And how do you do that? How do you create stickiness? You can do that through BaaS solutions, embedded finance solutions, by creating loyalty. For instance, stored value wallets. We do this for a marketplace in Poland called Allegro, which is the largest online marketplace in Poland. And we create wallets for their customers that their customers can load funds onto the wallet, use the wallet to spend on the marketplace, and they're rewarded with cash back.
Okay.
And that creates a closed loop ecosystem with the wallet can pay to the marketplace. And then they're not paying acquiring fees and additional, you know, the marketplace isn't paying these fees to payments firms. But it's complementary to cards. You know, so you want payment methods that work. Cards aren't going away. Loads of people, we issue cards with MasterCard. You know, loads of people are still using cards. It's still a predominant method. But you want differentiation and you want solutions that make it sticky. And a stored value wallet makes it more sticky. Because the money in that wallet can only be spent on that marketplace. But the incentive is the cash back.
Yeah, it's cheaper at the end for the consumer,
Whereas a card you can spend anywhere. So, you know, Allegro doesn't want their customers to go to Amazon, right? They want their customers spending with Allegro. And our solutions help generate that stickier relationship.
All right. Well, that sounds like a really exciting thing to keep an eye on and give a finger on. Now, just lastly, what's been your main takeaway from the conference here in Denmark today?
What's great to see is the amount of innovation. Yep. There's a lot of talk about rules and regulations and compliance, and I actually see, it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's burdensome and it's costly, but on the other hand, it does spur innovation. Without PSD2, we wouldn't have open banking. We wouldn't have Tink and Aya and TrueLayer and these and Plaid. We wouldn't have these providers, but now they've sprung up a whole industry of liberating customer data and allowing customers to control their data and leverage their data in more efficient ways. So you have a lot of that around these around these halls. Yeah. Companies spurring innovation, building new things, and also differentiating themselves and diversifying themselves. I was on a panel with Starling Bank, for instance, and they were a consumer bank first in the UK, then into doing sort of fintech banking and payments in UK clearing schemes, and now they're selling their core banking platform to other banks around Europe.
Okay.
So you have these companies really expanding and differentiating themselves and selling new solutions and pivoting, and creating new excitement in the market and new competition in the market. And I'm a big fan of competition in terms of spurring innovation. So it's great to see that trajectory of, we're back to growth, we're back to innovation, new entrants coming into the market. You see a lot of familiar faces in the room, but you see a lot of new faces, and that's excellent. Definitely. And also people moving more from traditional banking, into the fintech space, and also into the crypto space. I spent time in a crypto firm before, Vodeno, and that is a very vibrant space full of opportunity as well. Yeah. So you see more and more crypto solutions, blockchain solutions, and companies in that ecosystem attending conferences like this, entering these markets. And also, expanding their solution suite to more sort of traditional payment solutions, e-money wallets, and these sorts of things beyond just traditional crypto exchanges, and also stable coins, crypto-style payments, these sorts of things. So there's a lot of innovation in the room.
Right. Well, no, it's been really insightful talking to you. Thank you very much for spending time. And
thanks for having me. It's excellent.
It's been great meeting you, and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
All right. Thank you.
Good.